Yo, what is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. I hope everybody's well, having an absolutely fantastic day. Until I made this video anyway, nonetheless. So I hope everybody's well. Big thank you for your support. We've been absolutely smashing it, guys. It's just so refreshing to see that I'm not the only one out there, at least when it comes to viewers who's got a critical, negative view on Battlefield 6 and kind of the video game we have got so far. So today, guys, I kind of want to talk about how to save Battlefield, so to speak, and just how to make the game better. So enjoy, guys. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's get on with the rest of the video. So, guys, I was kind of thinking to myself yesterday, okay, we're not getting that many big maps. It's quite clear that they've got a direction which they want to have more infantry-only maps, you know, a lot more smaller maps than what we've ever seen in any Battlefield ever. Now, I want to come out and just clear a few things up, right? I know people said that smaller maps did exist in Battlefield 3 and 4 and obviously other old Battlefield games, but the focus was 1,000,000% on all-out warfare. Full-scale warfare, whatever you want to refer to it as, that's what the actual core Battlefield experience was. Yes, they've always had smaller infantry-focused maps. They even released specific DLC back in the day for close-quarters combat. But nonetheless, Battlefield as a whole has always had the major focus on large-scale, all-out warfare. I can think, guys, constructively, believe it or not, even for all the haters who... It's kind of weird. As soon as I do upload a video, guys, the first few comments, not all the time, but typically, are from people who are hating me. I'm like, what? Do you just sit on the internet all day waiting for me to upload a video just so you can hate? You know, the haters call me a hater, but yet they're hating themselves. Incredible, guys. You know, hypocrisy around the world, well, especially on social media, is incredible. But anyway, nonetheless, you can hate all you like. It's interactions, couldn't care less. YouTube likes interactions regardless if it's positive or negative. And for all the people out there, you know, who do like my content saying, oh, I hope you're all right, Sam, with all this abuse you get. Don't worry, guys. I'm a big boy. I've got my big boy pants on. I'm not going to cry about people saying mean words to me on the internet. So I appreciate the concern, guys, but I'm totally fine. So yeah, I was having a think with my 10 brain cells, as I just said. How can we make Battlefield better? Now, David Serland, who's somebody here, don't really know who he is, but anyway, he's somebody important, has come out and said that we're not getting a proper server browser, but we're kind of getting one, and it's kind of going to be in Portal, and it's going to kind of be this, it's going to kind of be that. We don't actually know 100% what it is. It's like cryptic bullshit. But ultimately, guys, we're going to be able to modify the games what we can play through the Portal mode, but it's actually going to be Battlefield 6 content. It's not going to be, you know, like what other games have done where they've had older stuff from older Battlefield games in Portal. I should imagine you're going to get that anyway, but basically what's being said is that we're going to be able to modify what we want to use on Portal. So with taking that in mind and taking kind of on board what I've been told, why don't we have it where, okay, it's not ideal that we've not got, you know, actual community servers in the game, which again, that'd be the best way to do all this. Have community servers so we can have exactly what map rotation we want, with what vehicles we want, respawn timers, all that. That'd be incredible if we could have that, because then, regardless of what they put in the game, as long as they've got 2 or 3 maps in the game, we could actually, you know, make a Battlefield game a true Battlefield game with all-out warfare. Portal needs to have it so you can just create a server for, say, like the largest maps in the game. You add all the vehicles, so therefore then you get a true all-out warfare experience, as they call it. Because just to put this into context, I actually pinned this on yesterday's video saying that Grimoald Railway is that large that you could put every single map what we've had in the beta so far, and some, and you still have loads of space left. Just to show you the sheer difference in scale. If Portal, or if we have, you know, an actual server browser, which fingers crossed they listen to us, we get that before the game comes out, because it's not going to be that difficult to introduce. Would it be great if we could have, like, just the Firestorm map, Merak Valley, because again, they've already said that's going to be the largest map in the game. Let's just have those 2 maps, and then wait for other large DLC maps to come in the future once all the COD kiddies have fucked back off to, you know, Black Ops 7 and Warzone, and EA then start to actually listen to the Battlefield community. It'd be good if we could actually have those in a playlist, like, by all means, you know, have your infantry-only maps, have the, you know, close-quarters combat maps. Like, we used to have playlists, you know, back in the day for CQC maps, which close-quarters combat. They all used to have a separate playlist, so by all means, have that separate playlist, but then also have a separate playlist for true all-out warfare. Not the all-out warfare playlist they had online for about half of one of the days in the beta weekend just gone. We need all-out warfare to be the largest maps in the game with all the vehicles available. Let's get that. Just do that, sort that out, and then you're going to make the game instantly, from my point of view, go from a 5 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10. And then you're starting to get towards a Battlefield game which will be enjoyable. Then also, if you lock the classes, that'll probably make it an 8 out of 10, because you're getting more of a Battlefield feel than what you've got with a shower of shit we've got right now. You've got to understand, right, the devs of Battlefield, DICE, whatever. Again, DICE name only. They're not DICE anymore. They have to understand that Activision couldn't give a shit about Battlefield 6. You know, all the COD fans will go back to Warzone and Black Ops 7. They do it time and time again. They moan about the game. They moan, bitch and whine about it, but they go back home to Daddy Activision. Happens all the time. Honestly, it will. So instead of having Grimold Railway from, like, Battlefield 4, again, this is an example. That's that big that you could put all the beta maps, what we've had so far, in it, not just once, probably 4 or 5 times, guys. You know, the sheer scale of the downgrade in all-out warfare in Battlefield is incredible. And everybody says to me, why do you call this game like it's like Call of Duty and it's not Battlefield? That's kind of the biggest point. The biggest point is the maps and open weapon classes at the moment. You get rid of those two, and then you've got an argument to say, well, hold on a minute, this is going towards being an actual Battlefield game. But yeah, the sheer scale downgrade on the maps is incredible. And for the devs, again, to, like I said in yesterday's video, for the devs to say they're making specific maps for specific play styles is incredible. Battlefield has always been that you make a map for every type of play style. Even if you've got a great big wide open map like Grimold Railway, you'd have certain areas where it'd be tank on tanks fighting, it'd be planes trying to destroy tanks, but you'd also have smaller parts of that map, more claustrophobic areas of the maps, where it'd be infantry versus infantry. But then another part of the map on another conquest point would be tanks versus tanks. You see, so you wouldn't be necessarily running halfway across the map, but even if you did want to do that, there'd be lots of vehicles available, like transporters, buggies, all that kind of stuff, that you'd be able to do that. You know, even the destruction is laughable, guys. You know, only certain buildings in Battlefield 6 can be destroyed. You've got no way of knowing what buildings can be destroyed or cannot be destroyed. It's just pot luck. It's visual only. You can't blow a building up to make a hole through it so you can go and flank the enemy. There's no levolution mechanics. Again, games what are 12 years old had amazing levolution mechanics. You know, if you compare the destruction in Battlefield 6 to Battlefield 2, was it Battlefield 2, Battlefield Bad Company 2, which had the best destruction of any Battlefield game, I believe. Again, it's a long time, can't really remember it. But even so, you compare it to the finals, which I know it's a totally different video game, guys. Embark made the finals. Embark come from DICE. You look at the destruction in the finals and you compare that to Battlefield, it's laughable how much better the destruction is in the finals. But like I said, all we need, from my point of view, again, let me know what you think in the comment section. I know it's never good to split the players into, like, separate playlists, but what we're going to do, guys, because I don't want to be playing infantry-only maps. I want to be playing all-out warfare maps, so the developers have got to be aware enough, and hopefully they've not got that much of an arrogant attitude that they just fucking ignore people like me. We need an all-out warfare playlist, or if we don't get that, we need some kind of a server browser or through Portal where we can play the biggest maps only, with all the vehicles available. And even, like, look at this, guys. Even as of yet, we've got no naval combat at all. Can you remember how good, was it, Paracel Storm was? And we even got a naval DLC warfare map pack, whatever it were called back then, with like 4 or 5 naval combat maps. This is me trying to say to people, the most common question I get on my channel is, why are you saying it's COD? Well, this kind of video answers that question. On Battlefield 6, as of yet, we do not get a true all-out warfare. We don't. We need an all-out warfare playlist, because at the moment, again, we're just going to be sat in games what we don't want to be in, waiting for, you know, the larger maps to come out. May it be Merak Valley, the Firestorm remake, which again is going to be a big map. You're going to have all the vehicles available on that. So that's kind of what we're looking out for. And am I going to be keeping having to go into games to then just leave because I've not got the right map I wanted? You know, that's not good game design. So hopefully the devs, DICE, whoever's left there at DICE now, hopefully David and his team, Vince or whoever else, aren't arrogant enough to think that this game's going to survive but basically to make a game what feels more like Call of Duty instead of, you know, Battlefield. I don't think that's the right way to go. You need to make a good Battlefield game. You don't need to make a good Call of Duty-esque video game and call it Battlefield because of the brand what Battlefield brings with it. You need to make a good Battlefield game. Like I've said, have your infantry only, have your smaller maps, have all that, But just make sure that old school Battlefield fans aren't fucked right off. We need an all-out warfare playlist, like I've said, on the biggest maps only, all vehicles available, and yeah, as of yet, they've stayed completely radio silent on that. So I'd like to see David, Vince, or anybody else at EA actually come out and just let us know. Are we going to have an all-out warfare playlist? What has the largest maps only with all the vehicles available? So again, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you again for your support as always. Love you all. Have a great week. And yeah, this video will be uploaded on Wednesday. So we've only got one more day until weekend 2. But yeah, I don't really think much is going to change. All right. Love you all, guys. Take it easy. Goodbye for now, my friends. And again, thank you for your support.